And we're live. Fantastic. Yeah, everybody. Hope you're all good. Hope life's excellent with everybody else. We are a bit croaky.
Yeah, Kaz is yeah.
A bit rough today.
Yeah, very rough.
We're bloody rough all week.
Oh, hang off, you're the first one.
Yeah, Derek was way back when. Oh, jaw. Ooh. Hi, Derek. Right, I've been thoroughly enjoying your series and your shorts, Derek. Sorry if I've not answered much this week. I felt that.
We're still feeling back.
Yeah. I'm trying to chase through it and shed it. But yeah, both had. Some people saying, "Oh, you had COVID." We've had flu. Hi, John. Excellent, mate. Welcome back from the islands. Yeah. Cheers, brother.
We've had temperatures. I've not been eating apart from soup.
Unfortunately,
for days.
Best laid plans of mice and men. What with going down with influenza, basically you went down back Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That Tuesday, Kaz went down. I went down Monday. You went down Monday. I went down the day after you.
Yeah.
Then Wednesday, I had a prior commitment that I couldn't avoid, which was out in the cold in the woods all day, and I couldn't escape from that. That was somebody come a long way. So I had to do that.
Hi, Silver.
Came back from that and pretty much collapsed that night. Temperature went up to just shy of 40 degrees and stayed there pretty much for 48 hours. Made the decision.
He actually went to bed and stayed in bed. He never does that during the day. Never.
Made the decision to get hold of my mum on the Isle of Wight. Now, my mum on the Isle of Wight, she's immune suppressed. She's got a heart condition and she cares for her husband who has quite severe dementia. So again, somebody who really you don't want to get ill. So much to my disappointment really, and my son's disappointment, because it was going to be a family trip over. So there was me, Kaz, my son, daughter-in-law, and my granddaughter, and Willow, and we were all going to go over and see my mum, have the day there, trundle back, which I had to cancel it. I just, by the time we got to sort of 48 hours shy, I'm sitting there thinking I'm still running a temperature. I still feel like crap. Kaz feels like crap. One, I'm going to pass it on to my son and my granddaughter just before Christmas. That's not good for them. Two, if my mum gets it, then that puts her in a really bad way. So I had to cancel that. So I didn't even manage to go over and see my mum. So I had a week of feeling absolutely
voice keeps going, I'm afraid.
And didn't even get to go see my mum. Spoke to her on the phone and that. And as she said, she would rather we didn't come if we were ill because she might not recover from it. Hi, Katrina.
Happy birthday for yesterday, sweetheart.
Yeah, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Katrina.
John, you're not blending in with your warm.
Happy birthday to you. There you go. That's about as.
Don't expect me to sing because
Don't ever expect me to sing.
Lose my voice completely.
I'm a druid. I chant. I don't sing. Here we come. We are the druids. Let me get this. I'm sorry, guys.
Willow has been an arse tonight.
Although I'm still running a temperature, it's only very slightly raised. You know, you got that horrible. You feel the cold up your back all the time, even when the heating's on. You just because your body's running a bit warm. But I'm going to have a Guinness tonight because it'll do me good.
Hi, Gary. No, we're still infected.
Yeah, and I'm going to try and have my cigar because I've bloody well been looking forward to it.
I've got water tonight. That's about all I can.
There you go. Nice, slowly poured pint of Guinness. How do we? And I'm drinking my Guinness tonight in a mug. Okay, because real men drink from a jug, not a girly straight glass. No, this goes back. An etiquette when I was a boy. When I was a boy and I first started drinking in a country pub, all the old boys there, they either had their own tankard or they had their
I've seen
own
tangers up on the
their, their own glass pint mug. And yeah, it went on. That was sacrosanct. They went on their hook, you know. As nippers, we would look at them and go, "One day, I too will have a." Never even they thought all you had to do was go down to the town, buy one, bring it back, have your name scratched on it, and they'll put it up for you.
Hi, Ian.
Hi, mate. So I'm drinking Guinness from a jug tonight. I've no doubt there's somebody out there who will be screaming and shouting, "No, Guinness should be drunk from a straight glass," but it's beer.
I haven't even wanted to drink water. These men have forced me to drink anything because I can't drink anything. I just don't want to eat anything.
No, Kaz, I've had to force things down her. She's not really. Oh, yeah, you're off colour, aren't you? You're not happy at all.
I was even offered donuts, and even that.
Not even custard donut. No. They got offered. So I'm getting a little bit of chocolate, make you feel better.
No.
So what can I do? What can I do? You know, I've tried doing everything I can, and there's nothing more I can do apart from just be here, and I will try and entice her later on. I will try and lure her with a banana.
Sweat it out, yeah. That's one.
Yeah.
That's
all you can do with it. Feast your way through it. I literally went back to bed for 24 hours.
Sam?
Crashed in bed for 24 hours. Literally just got up to drink water and have a pee. I don't take too much in the way of paracetamol pain relief because I have a rather unfortunate I have a very unfortunate condition which leaves me with an extremely high pain threshold, which is a pain in the arse. Everybody goes, "Oh yeah, I bet that's really great." It's not. It's an absolute nightmare because pain is there for a reason. It's there to tell you you have damaged something and not to use it, because obviously you're going to make it worse. I am the idiot that can walk on a broken leg and have wandered around with a broken arm and a broken hand and fallen off motorcycles and busted fingers and wrists and not even bloody known about it until it all starts swelling up, going a funny colour and a funny shape. And they go, "That's broken. You should be leaping around screaming in agony," and I go, "It's just throbs a bit." So I try not to take painkillers because, again, if I've got the attitude that if it's hurting me, I know it's bloody bad. So
your mic's a bit fuzzy.
Is the mic a bit fuzzy? That might be. Let's see if we've got. It might be just getting old. I think it might just be that it's getting old, I'm afraid, guys. Better now. Okay, don't.
You had to blow it.
Yeah, I blued on it.
Jim said, "How long do patrons need to be frequenting this establishment?" He said, "How long do patrons need to be frequenting this establishment before we can have a tankard behind the bar asking for a friend?"
You bring your tankard in, son.
We'll
swing it behind the bar. It's just don't bring your own spittoon. Yeah, tankard behind the bar. God, bloody hell. Don't know that they'd be allowed to do that these days.
John did a canteen cup. Yes,
Yes. Back there, mate. Hope to see Mac Tuesday. So I should be seeing Mac on Tuesday, giving him his, and we will be talking about getting a video cracked out.
As long as we don't infect Mac with this as well.
Yeah, depending on health and conditions. Right. As my grandmother used to say, she'd light up a player's Navy Cup cigarette. "You're like one of them, son. Germs don't like smoke." So not only am I trying to sweat it out, flush it out with fluids, I'm going to smoke the bugger out. and I had a curry tonight. So, hey, you germs, I've sent the napalm. full tactical approach to my germs.
Me, I had chicken soup.
Yeah, cousin chicken soup. I went in with a
Got a cup of
napalm,
soup.
going in with the smoke. It's a full frontal attack. I will get better. Yeah. So that's.
He was very chuffed. He was. He was actually in bed when the parcel came. I said, "You got a parcel, Dad?" He says, "Oh yeah." So it's from America. Oh,
That was the only good thing this week, really, wasn't it? It was, and it was one of the few things that actually got me out from under the covers. I was like, huh? In fact, I think the remark was I looked like something like a tortoise emerging from hibernation.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a rough one. So I hope everybody else out there is okay. So again, survival skills and prepping and all that. So this all comes back to it, doesn't it? We've not had to leave the house this week, have we? No. We've had pretty much everything in that we needed as a standard. There's soups and bits and pieces all put by in the emergency store. Always stocked up on things like the cough, flu, cold relief medicines and that. We've got alternatives to Kaz because Kaz can't take any paracetamol at all because she's already on a high dose of painkillers, so she can't take anything that's going to interact with those because it'll affect her liver and kidneys. So, but we've got all the alternatives we need, plenty of fluids. And as I say, you see me on a Sunday night having a drink. That's the only time I have a drink. I've literally taken a can of Guinness out the fridge tonight. And I'll have a Guinness, and that will actually help. That will do some good. The alcohol will actually make me feel a little bit better in myself. The iron level in the Guinness that will also help my system. Lots of vitamins and minerals in there. And at the end of the day, I'll be slightly hydrated because it's only the one. If I was drinking 3 or 4, might start worrying about dehydration through alcohol. But again, it's what you got to do. And so having that prepper survivalist mindset is an advantage. Whereas we have friends in that situation before now that are sitting there phoning around going, please, could you go to the shops for me? Because I haven't got anything in and I'm not feeling very well. Don't mind doing it for them. But I don't have to call anybody else in to do it for us, do we? No, we just literally snuggled up.
Well, let's be making the most of it.
Percentage of Guinness. It is 4.1%, my friend. Let's try and get that in focus for you. Come on, you bugger. Hide your face from it. There you go.
That's easy gone,
yeah, 440 mils, 4.1% volume. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the specs of this. So Guinness, what's it going to give me per can? Per 440 mils, it is giving me 634 kilojoules, of which is carbs, or 11.9 grams of carbs. It's giving me 154 calories, of which 0.9 grams is sugar. It's giving me 0 grams of fat. It's giving me 1.3 grams of protein. And it's also giving me 0 saturates because there's no fats. It's giving me salt at 0.1 gram. So, yeah, so I'm getting a bit of salt into my system, which is only a small amount. Good, take that. Protein's not bad, 1.3 grams.
John said their milk is higher than that in America.
It probably is.
But milk in the UK, sorry.
But I will be honest with you, stout and Guinness.
Sticks.
It was always produced as a very tonicky drink. I mean, I'm sure anybody that joins us from Ireland will say about getting drunk on Guinness. Well, I've got drunk on Guinness a few times. It's not.
Congrats, Benny. He's got 200.
Benny!
I said to Mitch, the other day I said, Benny's not far off 200 now.
Yep. That's it. Chili beans a match. Yeah, Benny, congrats, mate. That's it. The rise of the bushcrafter. The emergence of Benny from the woods. It's like a Bigfoot story, that, isn't it? There's a legend.
See, that chair is not a high chair, it's a throne.
It's a throne, yeah. There's a legend of the cryptid king of the woods.
Yep.
Yes, Bigfoot Benny, they call him. Well done, mate. Well done, mate. Yeah, it's really good news. FU crew, yeah, guys. Hope you're all good.
Yes, they did. Well, not that long ago, you got the 100. Now 200.
Yeah, you're flying. Flying. And your new camera's working brilliantly, Benny. Yeah, that's a lot better. I think so you wanted the sound and the image was better.
Yeah.
Not that you can trust me when it comes to sound or image. I mean, believe me, I wear goggles and I'm deaf in one ear and part deaf in the other. So,
you got another plan, okay?
Always keep planning, keep swapping it up. Now, obviously, I wasn't able to get out at all this week. I did actually at one point think about doing a video from bed. Or just like
that could be a bit wrong.
Just literally set the camera up next to the bed and go, hello.
So you got sticks doing it and haven't viewing it from the bath. Yeah.
Here I am, actually outdoors of survival in my pit. Snuggle myself up like that.
I'll make sure you keep all the flowery pillowcases off then.
Yeah. Put
the more macho ones on.
The more macho ones on for me. Yeah.
With the deer and stag's heads and things like that. Yeah,
we'll put the lavender ones away. Yeah, Benny. That's fucking good news. Nice. So it's coming down tomorrow and you've got another plan.
Oh.
Exactly that. Keep swapping it out, keep changing it up. Do what you want to do. People watch because they enjoy watching. And I think part of it is they're not just watching for the skill sets and that, they watch for the personality. Yeah. It's quite interesting to see. We're looking at a lot of other bushcrafters and YouTubers and that, and I'm trying to get hints, figure out how to keep things fresh and ideas and that. And sometimes I see how people use music, some use humour, some use catchphrases. It's like everybody's got their own method. And then I thought, well, hang on, why am I trying to take for somebody else? It's their personality, isn't it? That's what people watch for. So, yeah.
Are you staying in Cranley, are you?
We'll come over to Cranley, won't we?
We'll come over to Cranley
to see you. Yeah. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got, let's see, we've got a week to go, Christmas. Just a week to go, isn't it? Just a week of it. Yeah, what was 17th now?
No, it's 18th tomorrow.
But Yule Friday. Yes, Yule Friday. So Yuletide Friday. Yeah, that'll do me. That'll do me. Crack open a bottle of port and go from there. So it's going to be an interesting Christmas and New Year. It's going to be an interesting New Year for us. We've got lots of changes coming for me and Kaz in the new year. We are hoping to relocate home. Well, yeah. So that's going to be a bit of a panicky week or two. And we are looking at we're sitting down at the moment deciding how we're going to try and format the channel a bit better. I've learned a thing. Farmer P, he taught me a thing. Brilliant guy, Ian Pullen. Any of you guys ever want to or like farming, like watching a small UK farmer get on with his life day by day?
Cow.
Yeah,
his daughter makes amazing cakes.
His Dexter cows and that. Yeah. Farmer P. So he uses the same camera as me. And I've had a bit of trouble with mine ever since I got it, that I always put down to my computer not being powerful enough.
Even in
And
Mac.
that was the fact that it would take ages and ages to transfer the files from the card onto the computer. And he was talking about it, and he said, "Oh yeah, I've just got my new camera and I've just set it up. I remembered to change it from 4K to 2.7 because otherwise the computer struggles to load it." And I was like, didn't even know you could do that. Went into my settings, swapped it over, and it's loading a lot quicker now. What I've got to work out, because I do upload in 1080p, is whether or not it's worth me filming in 1080 or whether to carry on filming in 2.7. Now, being that I'm a technophobe anyhow, I don't even know what a 1080p is or a 2.7.
Lost me.
Yeah. I mean, according to my camera, I could film in 4K or 5K. Calories, carrots, crumpets.
Could be the carrot, as in carrot, go like gold carrots.
Yeah. Kaiser Chiefs.
No.
Don't know. So, yeah. So I'm going to have a play with that this week. So what I'm going to do, when I'm out with Mac this week, I'm going to try doing some video filming in 1080, and then I'm going to bring that home, see what the difference is on the upload timing, and then put the video up and let you guys feed me back and tell me whether you think the video quality's there or no, go back to what I was doing before. Hey, Matt, Benny's up to 200, mate. He's on a flyer.
Hangtosh in the Goodwill place.
Yeah.
Watching.
Yeah. Derek was first on tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah.
720p, probably a bit quicker. The better the quality, to more memory, it takes more time to load. All right, yeah. So basically, I take it. 4K is obviously I'm doing it in a higher quality, a denser.
I like computer
system,
computer things, but I don't understand.
Overloads it, but
the camera.
Yeah.
Larky bit.
So we'll have a play with it to try and find the best combination of speed loading and imagery out to you guys. Because again, don't want to drop the quality at all if we can help it. I don't rely on my wife. I rely on my wife and a couple of friends who occasionally get a phone call from a very worried Mick going, "What have I done? What have I done?" And it's true. Normally, the first thing they say is switch it all off, switch it back on again.
On the one downstairs, you hear this bang, crash.
Yeah. That's it, isn't it? So there's sticks is right there. So then that's a difficult thing. Once you've made your first probably 100 videos, the problem becomes every video I make now, I'm going, I've done that before. When did I do that? Did I do that last year? How far back did I do that? Am I repeating myself? And you've got to have also the confidence that if you've changed a technique, or you've changed a method or something you recommend, and then you put it out, somebody is guaranteed to come back in the comments and go, "That's not what you said 6 months ago," which makes you go, "Oh." You go, "Well." So now I will answer. Well,
if you want to call us guys, then call us guys.
Call us anything you want, mate. Now, call people that are on. It's your channel. Yeah, it's your channel. Okay. Whether you call them guys, folks, dudes, it's like guys and gals. It doesn't matter what you do. You're always going to find there'll always be somebody that will get the hump with it. Okay, there will always be somebody go, "Oh, I'm Jack to that, call me that." Right?
Eating dirty faces.
But this isn't when you're presenting on camera. You're not presenting to one individual, are you? You're presenting to a gaggle of people, and you have no idea their race, creed, sexuality, age, color, ethnicity, nationality.
What you're doing is speaking to a camera.
You're speaking to a camera. So at the end of the day, be yourself. Okay, don't try and you don't have to justify it, and get on with it. But it did make me chuckle because you did something that I do. Is you sit there and you go, I'm not going to say that today. I'm not going to say that today. I'm not
The
going
more
to
you
say
say
that.
that, you do.
And the more you try not to, the more you do. And then you sort of overcompensate because you're actually saying it more than you normally would because your brain is, in that switch mode.
The brain's going, oh, did you say no? Don't say that word.
Yeah.
Well, that word.
But yeah, again,
that word.
You know, as long as you're not being rude and it's not intended as rude, what the hell? What the hell? You be yourself, my brother.
Defragging, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's not.
I wonder what you meant for a minute, Lee.
That's not that sort of.
I thought I was going to have to frag the computer.
That's all right, Sticks.
Yeah.
Are you watching us from the bath this week, or are you actually, with us?
Yeah.
In clothes with us.
Not fantasising again.
Don't do that, please.
No, I'm not doing that.
Oh dear.
Yeah, be behind on the stream. If you're in front of the stream, you tend to pee on your own feet. It's a bushcraft joke, that one. So be yourself, mate. Be yourself, buddy, and whatever you choose to title people or call your personalities out there, do so. Downwind, yeah. Never pee against high winds.
If it's something that you normally say, then people have got to put up with it.
Well, it doesn't matter where you come from.
Yeah.
In the country, you go around the country. There's so many different terms for folks that people these days get so offended by. I'm always calling people mucker, and the amount of times that people say,
Okay,
"What do you mean by that, mucker? I'm not dirty." No, it's not mucky. It's mucker. Yeah, somebody you'd be prepared to be in the crap with, a mucker. So it goes back to the First World War, guys in the trenches referring to one another as muckers because they were all up to their necks. And, so at the end of the day, hi, Jason, that's where that term comes from. You go down to the West Country, it's my lover or Emmett. It's, so it changes all around the place, and there's so many people I don't think they are actually offended when you say things like that. I think they just they're the sort of people that would moan about their own mother if she bought them in a slice of toast, it'd be too dark, too light, too underdone. Did wood jam on it. Don't let that put you off. You just carry on doing what you're doing. Sticks, absolutely awesome. You crack on with what you're doing. Comparing yourself and thinking what to do instead of just doing it. Yeah, do that all the time. Sit there, do something. I've got to the point now where I try and do as much of my filming as possible in one take hits. So I break down the day into 4 or 5 sections. And now I've got to put, because I'll sit there and I will go through it. People say to me, film a bit, watch it back, redo it if necessary. Do you know what? I've spent so many hours of a day trying to do a line or a piece to camera, not being happy with it and redoing it. And now I've stopped doing that. I go out with the attitude that, look, this is me. This is the video I'm going to try and make. I'm going to edit it. So I'm going to go out.
You don't want to edit everything out.
No.
It's the people that edit everything.
Yeah.
So everything is so sterile and it's
Well,
not real.
You know, as I do, lighting a fire, by the time you get around, collected everything, pared down, got your tinder sorted, got your materials sorted,
Okay, honey.
had a chat to your mate, got yourself organised, then you're like, yeah, there's an hour gone. So by the time you've filmed all that, and then you sit down and you edit and you go, do you know what, that bit's interesting, that bit's boring, that bit's interesting, that bit's boring, that bit's interesting, that bit's boring, and yeah, that's how I edit it down. And I try and film as much as possible in, like I say, in one take hits. And that's one of the nice things about having Mac there. I'm lucky that way. When I first started, it was on my own, and I was always self-guessing, always worrying about it when I get back. Now I've got Mac there. If I make a complete hash of it, he's another pair of ears who's sitting there watching and listening, and he'll go, "No, mate, you can't say that. They'll throw the book at you, or you can't do it like that. That just come out completely wrong." And occasionally on some early stuff it did. There was times I came home, but one of the
Fanning fuzzy again.
Yeah, I think it's my throat more than anything.
Closer.
One of the a little bit closer. One of the tricks I did pick up on early on to counter that was that whenever I made a video, I also did what I called sort of like the second video. So if I was doing going out, so for instance, making a brew and showing a new cooker, I'd take that cooker, I'd go out and break it down into making the brew being one and having a natter about one subject, and then getting into doing the review of the cooker, and then doing my outro. And then that meant that if I come home, when it comes to doing the edit, I could look at the edit, and if I'd really ballsed up, say, making the brew, I could still put out a 15-minute video just doing the review, or vice versa. So
you're right, Katrina. There's a huge solar storm. They said, didn't they, that you're going to start having issues with internet and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the geomids at their peak tonight, and we are hitting the solar maximum. It's an 11-year cycle, and it will interfere with the internet. It will interfere with satellites. April next year, it reaches its absolute peak, and at that point, they're saying there could be all sorts of problems. But again, you don't know until we get there. Technology's come on a long way.
Poor Gary. He said about he's got himself a knife, and it turned out that's the size of a box of matches.
Oh, that's typical, isn't it? Still bloody good knife though.
That's not good while you're doing your presentation, love.
Yeah. Who's that one?
Katrina, she was doing a presentation on Thursday.
Yeah, just be yourself. Everyone has the right to offend, but it's not confuse offence with offend. Yeah, certainly does. Jason on my phone in the morning, going for a stealthy one. Go on, mate.
Like Gary said,
Yeah. Well, Gary's. Yeah, it happens. Unfortunately, I've done it myself, Gary. The amount of times I've ordered something and it's coming. When it's come, I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm sure that isn't what I ordered. But still, an Opinel knife they're very, very good quality steel. Immensely sharp. And at that size, mate, might be worth thinking about maybe a small neck sheath, something you can wear, secrete, keep it as a covert bit of kit, or it could go into your first aid kit. Okay, I do like small, very efficient, sharp knives tucked away into bits of kit, because again, you don't always want a big knife, especially if you're doing first aid on somebody, and you need a sharp knife.
Well, I've got a little like that. Yeah. I've got an axe. It's about that tall that Mick made me. It's got a Damascus blade, and the handle is actually made of water buffalo horn.
Yeah.
And it's really sharp. It's brilliant for me. I'm doing packages or lettering that I can't do with my fingers.
Yeah, it's so sometimes little exactly that, Lee. Great little knives. Being able to carry that in a
You like Moras?
I like Moras, mate. I like Benny.
Benny,
Yeah,
yeah.
Benny. I do like a Mora knife. Okay.
Like little one. Let's know how they stand up to being whacked with a bit of wood.
Right. Depends which Mora you get, mate. Okay. Now, Mora themselves make many different knives. You can go up to you get things like the Morgarberg, which is a bloody good, strong survival knife. Okay. You can go for the budget end if you're looking for a basic knife, okay, which is something like that, which is a nice little Mora. Now, but that, as you see there, the blade isn't particularly thick. It's quite strong, and it's a good steel. It's an immensely sharp, but it won't batten. If you're looking for something to batten with, you're looking for a bushcraft knife. Where did I put that? That is in the car. Bugger. Right, if you go on to Heine Haynes website, if you're buying it online, you go on to somewhere like Heine Haynes.
Heine.
Yeah. Hayes. That's it. Hang on, I'll write it down. At the moment, what I'm recommending to people, if you want a good bushcraft knife at a budget, okay, you're either going to go, you're going to look at about 35 to 40 quid, really, to be honest with you. And I would recommend the Beavercraft. They're a good knife. They're made in the Ukraine, and I've got no problems with their gear at all. I've given that some abuse. If you look round at the Moras, they do the Mora Survivor, the Mora sort of basic field knives and that. If you're coming in at a cheaper budget, then they're brilliant. They will take a fair bit of abuse, okay, but they're not really thick enough in the cheaper end ones for splitting. You will, if you're splitting kindling, you're pairing things like pine, you'll do it. If you're doing notching and carving, that'll do it. That'll do all your cordage work. If you're doing any field food preparation, that'll do it, including game preparation. They are an absolutely fine knife for that, because that's what they were originally meant for. They were a hunter's knife. And then they did fisherman's knives. Well, hence this plastic sheath. This whole idea of that was originally that they floated. So if you dropped it, you didn't lose it. So
unless it's running water.
Yeah, you've gotta have a look. Basically, their bushcraft knives are brilliant. If you look at Hidden Valley bushcraft guys like that, Nick Goldsmith, they use them as teaching tools. That's what they have, and so that every course that comes, guy gets given a knife and he gets given a Baco Laplander, and they go off and they do the course doing that or using that.
Oh,
there you go.
I got Puko. Yeah, he made me.
Yeah. Holt Fours, Holt Fours, forestry equipment, forestry axes, hunting gear, absolutely brilliant. So again, it's have a shop around, Benny. Yeah.
It's one of the go-tos, isn't it? The Moras and that.
Mora, they've been going around for years. I mean, I remember picking them up when I was a nipper. I mean, when I say a nipper, I'm talking sort of 14, 15 years old, and I'm 50, this year. Well over half a century. So yeah, I can recommend them because I tell you what, what you do have to. I'm just thinking about this. What you do have to be aware of. Okay. So when you buy a Mora, they're not all full tang. Okay. The majority of them are plastic handle. They're a working knife. They were never ever really made to be a pretty knife. They were meant more for their rugged durability and the fact they worked. If you put the blade in fire, it will come out of the handle. Okay, you'll heat it and it'll come out. They do two types of steel only. They do a carbon steel and they do a stainless steel. Stainless steel, it's brilliant if you're doing anything with food or going near food because you can keep it sterile, keep it clean easily, and it won't tarnish through using things like onions and that, vinegars or doing food preparation. Okay, carbon steels will hold a better edge and they will sharpen easier than stainless steel. Okay, but it's carbon steel. It will get etched by any acid that gets onto it. So again, if you've ever got yourself a carbon steel knife and it's got a lot of marking on the blade and you're fed up with it, push it into an onion, leave it overnight, take it out, give it a very good wash off. Okay, and just after you've washed it off, either give it a wipe down with some milk or bicarbonate of soda to just neutralise the vinegar from the onion, and you'll have etched it. Okay. And that will hide the marks that you have on that steel.
Back in the days of horse and carts, then
peg handled Moras, yeah. They all had the same sort of red peg handle on them. It was, I don't know what the paint was it is, but it's, again, you see it all over Norway. It's what they call oxblood, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's what they paint the houses and that, Sweden and Norway. Because traditionally it was a combination of oxblood and lime, and they painted the houses with that. So that's sort of the old red Mora handles exactly where that goes back to.
You've actually done an axe sharpening one, haven't you?
Yeah, I did one about 6 months ago.
Benny said about he wants to sharpen his axe.
On a stone. Yeah, you can use a stone to sharpen an axe, Benny. I can give a quick demo here. Right, so there are. So I've got that stone. Okay, that's a very expensive stone. Yeah, don't be tricked into having to. These are very
stupidly expensive.
You don't need expensive. You can actually, if you can get hold of anybody that works or a good quality garden supply company, they will be able to do you sharpening stones for axes and for all sorts of kits. And I prefer. I've lost mine. Got to get another one. I actually prefer a puck as to a stone like that for carrying out with me because it's round as what it's the shape of it just works better. Sharpening your axe. Let's go with your one. It's there. It's easy. Okay.
It's got a good edge on it anyway.
Yeah, it's got a pretty good edge on it. Yeah. Okay, so you take your axe and you want to look down your axe. Okay. And what you want to, first of all, you want to make sure that your centre line is in the centre. What can happen sometimes when you sharpen a bit off, okay? And then what that does, it actually moves the cutting edge over a fraction, which could be a bit of a pain in the arse. And you're looking for chips, dings, anything on there.
I'll go that trick, Sam. It will probably ruin your blade.
Right. So if you've got any chips or dings in there, my advice to you at that point is to file. Get yourself a good quality file. Okay. Now, you can use a chainsaw file, but if you're using a chain sharpening file, bear in mind it's round, so you've got to keep the movement even and constant all the way along. Because as soon as you slow down in one point, you're going to actually cut in too far. But a chainsaw file will sharpen an axe like you wouldn't believe, but it takes a little bit of practice and thought. If you've got a stone, take your coarse edge on your stone, start flat on your axe, and then rotate it until it meets your edge. Okay. Once you've got that, you've got your angle there, and all you're doing is sweeping like that and counting the number of times you sweep. Then when you do the other side, it is exactly the same process, and you just keep working at it. Now, you got to bear in mind most axes have got soft metal from here down, okay, and then welded into them in the forging process along this top edge there is a high carbon bit. Okay, so if you take I'll do it with a stone, so hopefully the mic will pick it up. Okay, so if I go to the back of this, you can hear it's a deeper sound, and the stone actually drags on it, okay, because that's a softer metal. When you come to the bit, it doesn't want to bite, and it's a higher pitch. Now, because it feels like it's skating off, a lot of people think it's doing nothing. It is still putting an edge on there. Now, what I have seen other people do, and a lot of forestry guys do it, and I think it works, so I'm quite happy to do it that way myself on occasion, is take your stone and work in a circular motion. And the important thing is keeping that angle. And it takes time. It does take time because that's a high carbon steel. Okay. If it sharpens, if you've got an axe and you suddenly find that sharpens almost instantly, then you've probably got a very, very cheap axe with no high carbon steel. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And the reason that's not a bad thing is that in the event that you use that axe and come down on something and it chips or damages the blade, it's going to be far easier to repair.
Now, Husqvarna make all the chainsaws, don't they?
Yeah, but you're never going to get. You can get a fine edge on a soft steel. It won't hold the edge. It will wear quickly, and it will dull quickly. The higher the carbon, the stronger the edge. But it also has a pairing off with being brittle. So you've got to watch for things like chips. Again, if you're working on wood, look out for things like nails, screws, bits and pieces in there, because they're really what's going to damage your blade. And quite often on trees, as they grow, they will pick up bits of stone or may have had a fence nailed into it years and years ago. And one of my pet hates was working in the forestry was every now and again you're working away with a chainsaw and there would be a staple or something in a tree and you'd hit that. And that used to knacker them. And then when we were doing work for the MOD, the amount of times I'd be working on a tree on a live firing area and it's full of bullets, and that will blunt a chain like that.
Sticks wants to know what's on axes. Someone said to him about Husqvarna, but he'd never heard of them before. Are they any good?
Yeah, Husqvarna are good. Husqvarna are good. Still good.
Gary wants to know how much you recommend on spending on an axe and what's the best mate to get. A lot of ours, like my one, we actually bought it off an old boy.
Yeah, it's right.
Okay.
Axes like knives.
For mine.
Axes like knives are very much down to the individual. Okay, there are 150,000 different designs of axe head, methods, and reasons for those heads. Okay, every time you see a different shaped head, that head was specifically designed for a use in a certain place. There's no such thing as a generic axe. Okay, so if you're again bad day because I'm putting it all out in the car. Okie doke. So if you're starting out with an axe, you can pick up. I can't remember the brand now. I think it's B&Q or something like that. You can go into B&Q. Yeah, you can pick up things like Blackspur and that. Basically, if you're starting your axe journey, you've got two choices. I would say start cheap. Okay, look round the garden centres. Start cheap because you can knacker it. You will break the handle. You will knacker it in the first year whilst you're learning to use it. Because again, it's all about muscle memory. It's about aiming it. It's about being accurate with it, and it's about controlling it. You will knacker it. Please don't spend an absolute fortune. The secret to getting really good axes, okay, is exactly the same as getting things like bill hooks and that. Is I go onto Facebook Marketplace, and all over the country there are a lot of old boys that spend their time going out to the rural fairs and car boot sales and that, looking for tools, hand tools. They bring them back and they refurbish them, rehandle them, and they sell them. Now I've brought a very old axe, very similar to a Gransfors Forest. But this axe, we've dated to about 1939. It's a really, really good quality steel, and I paid about £25 for that, and that axe will last me a lifetime. Yeah, still are absolutely brilliant. Still are what they are exactly what they mark for. I get people going, I wouldn't buy a Stihl. Well, who's the biggest? The Oregon and Stihl are the two biggest suppliers of chainsaw and forestry equipment in the world. Okay, pretty much if you're working in forestry, you'll either be using an Oregon, a Stihl, or a Husqvarna. Okay, one of those three is going to be the tool you're using and the gear that goes with it. It's a massive field. So I was oh yeah, I'll never. It's got carbon fiber handle. I don't trust that. Well, it's got carbon fiber handle because the guy that's going to be using it is going to be using it all day, every day. Okay.
My one, Katrina, I know how to throw that one. Yeah. It's that one will cost about £5-10.
I had a dust up with somebody over recently because I got one of my axes is a carbon fiber handle. It's actually not. It's a fiberglass handle. And the guy said to me, "Oh, when you seen Deb with something like that, that's got no feel to it. It's got no heart to it. It's yeah." And I just looked at it and said, "Yeah, it doesn't. Now, a wooden handle does feel lovely." Yeah. He said, "Well, it's a proper man's axe." And I said, "Yeah, proper man's axe, but you don't work for 8 to 12 hours a day doing forestry operations with a wooden handled axe for a reason. One is it will break. Two, it will knacker. Three, it's heavy and you've got to lug it everywhere and you've got to keep swinging it and you've got to be accurate with it." And this is another thing. Heavy axes. Okay. Heavy axes make light work was something I was taught years ago. Okay. That is a really dangerous and a really stupid mindset to pick up. It's very old fashioned and it's probably led to more people being harmed by their axe than anything else. Because the thing that works with an axe is accuracy. Okay, repetitive hits in the same place with your edge. A light axe takes less work to lift, and it takes less effort to start propelling. Okay, it's what you used to call a faster axe. Okay, it doesn't have the weight when it hits, but you less energy to keep repetitive hitting. But it is also more controllable. So if something goes wrong, i.e., you skip off, you miss, you click past, you're not burying it in yourself. You've got a chance of actually missing your own body with it. A heavy axe, once that momentum has started swinging, and literally once you are at that point there, it's on the destiny to wherever it's going to end up, and you no longer have that control because of its weight. So find an axe you can. The old boy taught me years ago. Hold the axe at the end.
Excuse me.
You should be able to hold your axe by the handle. Hold your hand out, and you should be able to hold it there comfortably. Okay, then that's really a rule for a hatchet. If you can do that, and you can hold it out there level comfortably, then you've got something to work with. If it's putting your hand down, it's too heavy for you. Okay, if you've got a longer axe, okay, or you look over something like a forestry axe, then what you want to do is you want to shrink up on it, hold it about halfway down the handle, do the same thing, because a lot of your work is going to be there. It's going to be halfway down the handle. Okay, you're only really using the end if you're going for a chop or a swing. And I'm going to do a video on it. Yeah, I'm going to go back to it. We'll do a video back on it. What I'll do some demonstrations of cutting and that, and techniques that are good skills and techniques to pick up. Yeah, it's things like just go careful with it. People say to me, why do I carry a tourniquet? An axe is the main reason I carry a tourniquet.
You've got to apologise to Benny's cat. Benny's cat wouldn't come in because you started talking when he opened the window to let her in.
Sorry, Benny. What's your cat's name? I'll try calling her for you. Yeah, fatigue is real and dangerous, John. It's
oh,
Dog
DJ.
Dad. DJ, come on, DJ. You come in for Benny because he's getting
Just
cold.
don't go, here, pussy.
Here, DJ, come on, DJ. Hey, it's good little Tiddles, isn't you? Come on in. Come on, Tiddles. Come on, DJ. Meow. Hopefully that's worked for you.
Oh, bless her.
Oh, excellent. Make her a wooden one, mate. Make her a little wooden axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make her something light and that, and yeah, get her working with it. You know, it doesn't need to be sharp, but again, it builds up muscle memory. And it starts
you have to make her.
Control.
You have to sit there and whittle while you're at your camp. Make her. You're doing work, your axe work to do your post you put in the ground. Just do something like that for her and make her.
It's all down to muscle memory. It's all down to grip memory and muscle memory. And repetition gives you that. I mean, it's Derek and lads in the States that train with sidearms. You know, the draw. That is, you just keep repeating. So the muscle memory is there. Your position, stance, hold, and it's the exact same thing in blacksmithing with a hammer. Okay, learning how to control the hammer, how far up and down the handle you hold it for different pressures, strikes, force control, okay, and rebound control. And it's the same thing with an axe as well. It's a lot of guys when they first come into it get very disappointed, very downhearted very quickly, because it doesn't seem to be going right for them. It's just if your axe isn't cutting what you want to cut, or your knife's not cutting what you want to cut, or your saw's not cutting what you want to cut, first thing to do is look at the edge. Second, look at the angle. Look at your angle of attack on what you're trying to cut. So, if you're cutting fibrous woods, you actually want to be cutting in at that sort of an angle through the wood that way, 45 degrees. Because if you're hitting that way, you're bending the fibres; they'll absorb the blow. So you cut down and through that way. Yeah, it's just little things like that, and it's
slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Who said that?
John.
Yeah, it's all about the bolt, mate. It's all about the bolt. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Agree 100%. Yeah. I use that one all the time when I'm teaching people to shoot. Calm down, relax, go slow. And it is.
Yeah, you're right, Lee. Some of the ones on eBay, they are dangerous. Full of filler and that. And the first time you try using that really well,
Yeah.
See a girl. Did she go do something with a? Was it an axe? Was it a mallet? And the head fell off.
Mallet. It was she belted something with a mallet, and it just the head come off and launched past her ear roll. I've been doing a bit of 303 shooting. Better Lee Enfield. Yeah, always does. I mean,
you're gonna have to walk past the bloody things.
I got a scar there, and that scar was in the forge last year.
I remember that.
Working a blade, and it wasn't actually. I hadn't put an edge on it. I was just actually starting to profile it, and I took it out of the forge, put it on the anvil, took the hammer, struck once, struck twice, third strike, decided to give it a little bit more than I normally would, and I hit it, and it rebounded the blade up. It came out the tongs, and it rebounded off the anvil, and it struck me straight in the head. And that scar isn't from a cut; it's actually from the burn.
It's but cut and sealed.
Yeah, it cut and sealed at the same time. It was, and again, it's that rebound. No matter how experienced you are, it can go wrong. You've got to keep that control. And it's the same thing with an axe. Quite often, the injuries that people see with an axe is what you call a glancing bow, where they've gone for something, and for whatever reason, there's a knot in there, the wood split, or it's not as strong as they thought it was going to be, and the axe glances off the side of it, and then its momentum carries it going.
Right,
and because the way you're swinging, invariably, if you're in the wrong position, it's in your leg, and an axe buried in your leg is severe trauma. That's tourniquet time. That is Mr. Oh dear, I'm squirting up that tree there. Time to wrap this up. Okay, it's very, very dangerous. So you take an axe that weighs £3, and you're actually swinging that at 20 miles an hour. Okay, I don't know what the multiplication is there. Somebody can probably tell me, but yeah, that's a lot of energy and a lot of force.
Kent cut himself, didn't he? He was doing some chopping.
Yeah.
And just the wrong angle, and that was it.
Wrong angle. I'll do a video very, very soon. I'll show something. I'll get Mac to remind me. In fact, next time we're up the woods and I'm doing some wood splitting, remind me to pull out. I'll take all the axes with me. Pull out all the axes and give a demonstration hatchet and forest axe, some safe techniques and that I've used over the years. You don't have to use them, but I've used them because they work, and they're techniques that I've learned from guys that had been in forestry or indigenous peoples have used those methods for generations because, funny enough, they've all still got their fingers and their legs. Yeah, just remember, when we're talking about sharpening knives, the guy that sits there like that in front of you and says, "Oh, brilliant, mate, I'm sharpening knives. Look at how many fingers I've cut off." He's not the guy to be listening to.
Lucky your boots got it, John, and not
Yeah, it can go wrong so fast. And I've done it. I have had the odd moment where I sat there afterwards and thought,
that was close.
That was close. That could have been an unlucky one. Yeah. And we all do stupid things. I'm a blacksmith. I've been around hot metal for donkey's years. Yeah, who went grinding something and had somebody come around and say, "Oh, could you fix that?" Yeah, I can make that. I can adapt that. Dived in the shed with a pair of Crocs on, fired up the grinder, cut the head off a piece of metal, which then dropped on his Croc, melted through the rubber and stuck my bloody foot. Yeah, and the second it happened, I thought to myself, how many times have you said to people, make sure you got good footwear on if you're going to be doing this sort of thing? So again, we're not all immune to it, and we're not all perfect. We do all mess up, but yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And it wouldn't have damaged your axe handle by burning you nothing.
No, mate. Okay, no, you're not. I was looking at what you'd done there, and I thought that was actually pretty cool, mate. And that's not going to damage your handle, okay? What will damage your handle, what you've got to be aware of, is mishits. Most handles end up. You think about it, this is where the weight meets the wood. This is your failure point here. What you're always looking for is splits along this area here, signs of cracking, damaging, or if it's starting to split and open along here, okay, or along there, then it's time to change your handle. You'll see a lot of people will wrap this in hide, or they'll even wrap it in insulation tape, duct tape. And that really is more to act as a if you miss trust your cut and you hit there, what happens? The wood stops, the weight of the handle, the momentum that wants to carry it forward and tries to rip it off and breaks the handle basically. So what people try and do is protect that piece there. It's a bit, it does work, does help. However, it stops you from seeing if you are damaging the handle, and they will go with wear and time. Okay. Another thing people forget to do with wooden handles is they must be fed on a regular basis. Okay. You need to feed them. You need to treat them. You can use beeswax, linseed oil is another good treatment. Anything like that to feed the wood. Otherwise, the wood just dries out, and then as it dries out, it shrinks back, and it will fail on you. Yeah, it's
So John stepped on a bolt head that was melted through the bottom of his boot.
Oh, yeah, that's a nasty. Yeah, it's when you can't get your foot out because the hot thing's stuck in your foot, and you've got the boot undone, but you still can't rip your foot out. Yeah, that's a. Yeah, I've got my forge boots are a big old clunky pair of solid leather steel toe cap boots with an industrial sole on them and no laces. And the reason they got no laces is exactly that, so that I can kick them straight off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It does help. Yeah, sticks. It does help. It's it just acts as that bit of shock absorbency. It's just something to take the blow off of the wood, stop the wood from splitting. But again, you want to be able to check that area quite regularly. It's like having a gun or any tool use or a hammer even. As a blacksmith, I check my hammerheads regularly for cracking, pitting, splitting, chipping, damage, because the metal can come off of those like bullets, and tiny little sliver of high carbon steel in the eye is not a good one. So again, it's a matter of you get home, like you go to the woods, when you get home, it's clean your kit, and we all do it. Clean the knives, sit down. It's not just about you get in, dump your pack one up. We've all done that. When you come in, dump your pack, go get a cup of tea, say hi to the missus, sort yourself out, and then you give yourself an hour, sit back, like you would if you were a shooter. Clean your kit, okay? Hang things out to dry, little wipe down, get any residue off, a little bit of a wipe over with some oil. Okay, there's nothing wrong with using a tiny little bit of WD-40 on the head of an axe. I've even used a little bit of Vaseline for now. Just add a bit of Vaseline on a bit of cotton and literally just wiped it over the head of the axe, because it just gives it a little coating, just there to stop any moisture from hitting the metal or getting into it. Same thing with your knives. Give your knives a clean. Do courses for people, and they turn up and they say, "Well, get their knife out like that," and they haven't had it taken out of the sheath in a year since they last went camping, and they pull out this poor thing, and you're like, "Oh, I'll lend you one of mine for the weekend, because that's done. That's had it."
It's me.
I've even had one that wouldn't even come out the leather sheath. I was like, I know what's happened there. It's rusted to the leather. It happens. So yeah, it's getting to that practice.
Bad admin, not keeping your stuff clean.
Yeah, it's getting to that practice of looking after your kit, drying it, it's building muscle memory.
It's cat scarer.
Take it easy, Benny.
See you later, Benny. Look forward to more videos.
Yeah, look forward
Well
to the
done
rest of your
again.
videos. Take it easy, have fun, mate, and congratulations. And I'm sorry to your cat.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, sticks, that's right. Oil and gas, NUAX once a day, once a week. Yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing that myself. Yeah. It was right, because in the old days, the oils the oils we used for our axe handles were things like neat's foot, and they come like beeswax. Okay. So basically what you would use, you'd use a burner. So what you do is you coat the oil on, and you literally rub it on dry, so you just get a smear on there. Then you get the burner and you heat it, which obviously liquefies the wax. That then soaks into the wood. Okay, then you let that cool off a little bit, and then you wipe it off. And that what it does, it seals the pores of the wood, protects it, stops all the muck from getting in there, and looks after it. And it's the same thing when you were doing the head. So when you were doing the head of the axe, by warming it, you open the pores of the metal. You open the pores of the metal, they absorb the oils, and as it cools down, holds the oils in the pores, stops the rust getting in there. Okay, it's a very old technique for steel workers, iron workers, and blacksmiths, and it's why I've got gates that I've made for people and brackets and that are out in the garden that have been out there over a year in all weathers, and all they originally had was an oil dip. Okay, so it's where I brought it out of the forge, and I brought it out of the forge at about 800 degrees, so it's about a cherry red, and it's gone into the oil. Okay, let it set in the oil, bring it out, warm it again gently, back into the oil, and it just opens the pores in the metal, lets the oil get into the pores, and then as it cools, it holds the oil in there and it protects it. All metals are porous. Okay, it's
Well, people, I'm feeling a bit not feeling brilliant in a minute, so
yeah,
I'm gonna leave the chat for a while. I'll try and get back in, but I'm just not feeling 100%. Take it easy, everyone, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, I'll be with you in a bit.
Right.
I won't be a late one tonight. It's right. So yeah, Kaz is bowing out because she's really been struggling with it. I'm coming out the other side now, and I think the Guinness is helping. To be honest with you, Camilla, hey, yeah. Take care, Kaz. Everybody's saying good night to you, Kaz. Take care.
Good night, everyone.
So what have I got in here? I'm having a bit of a right. So. So two of my favourites to use, and again they're not necessarily the cheapest, but again when I went back to making knives, so making handles and that. So the two items that I used to swear by, and I still do, for treating most woods, I'll go with that. Rustin's Danish oil. Okay, it's a great treatment for protecting the wood and feeding the wood. And if it's something that I'm going to be doing a lot of handling, like knife handles and things like that, Lord Sheraton's Caretaker, and that is a wood balm, and all that is, and you can actually make it yourself. So I've got some beeswax coming from Ireland, hopefully. And for those of you that have made your own fat wood, you'd sniff this and you'd recognise the smell straight away. And all it is beeswax and turpentine. Okay, that's all that is. It's beeswax and turpentine mixed. It's been used by French polishers and woodworkers for hundreds of years as a way of treating wood, especially wood that's going to get used and it's going to be handled a lot. Okay, and you only need a small amount of that on a cloth worked into a piece of wood, and yeah, the effect is absolutely fantastic. And you probably only need to use that if you were putting on the two an axe handle or a knife handle. You probably only need to use that once a year. Okay, and that's for something that gets used regularly. I use it on my hammer handles in the forge because, again, I have to protect them. Some of those, I've got a couple of hammers in there. They're close to £1,000 for each of the heads. If I was to replace them now, because they're antiques, they go back to the 1800s. The handles on them, I protect because I don't want them breaking off. I don't want to have something go wrong and damage that beautiful piece of equipment. So those are my two favourites. Beeswax. Beeswax always. Beeswax. Leather, wood is absolutely brilliant. But if you work it down with a bit of turpentine, and it just helps it to absorb a bit quicker. Yeah, Kaz got it for me from Timo. There you go. It's one of my favourite t-shirts, that one. It's, how can I describe it? It is literally, it's more like a polish. Okay, it is literally about consistency of shoe polish. If you were mixing it yourself, that's what you're looking for. Which we do, warm the beeswax, and I think this is 10% turpentine, pure beeswax balsam, 10% turpentine. So yeah, warm your beeswax. Be careful with your turpentine because obviously it's flammable. Add 10% turpentine to the beeswax. Give it a good stir. Let it sit, let it cool, and then basically what you end up with something very similar to sort of like a Kiwi boot polish, and that will, yeah, stuff works brilliantly. I will make some this year myself. And it's just one of those smells. It's like when you say a bit about fat wood and that, and you go, it's a wonderful smell. It's a turpentine. It's just, I don't know. It's a smell that takes me back to my childhood, sawmills and wood, and yeah, just if you've ever cut down a pine tree, it's you just recognise that sort of softwood sawdust smell straight away. But yeah, beautiful stuff. Lanolin, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, well yeah, lanolin. So that was another one. That was an old farmer's trick. You know, wiping your wiping your knife on a sheep. Because sheep's wool is full of lanolin. That's why sheep are waterproof. It's very good for you. It's great for stopping rashes, irritations, treating ailments. Good night, Gary. Take it easy, mate. Look after yourself. Oh, yeah, lanolin. Good old sheepies. 101 uses for a sheep, and ain't just talking curry. Birch oil, yeah, birch oil. I've made birch oil. I've made birch oil and I've used it. The birch oil, well, the reason I looked into birch oil was after reading a report from the Second World War, or the story of some, I can't remember, I think they were Jews. I think they were Jews that were aided by some Russians. And they basically survived in the forests for months and months and months and months on the end, surrounded by the Germans. And they used pretty much what they could scavenge and find round them. And one of the resources they had in abundance, because it was taiga type forest, was birch. And they were extracting birch oil and they were using that as glues, tar substitutes, waterproofing, treating and sealing wounds. Yeah, absolutely. It's got 101 uses, birch tar. It's a simple thing to make. It's basically take a can, punch a hole in the bottom. You want a small hole in the bottom, and if you can, try and dome the bottom so that it comes down to the hole. Take your birch bark and you wrap it. You pack the tin with it. Put the lid on. The idea is you're not getting oxygen in this. You're not creating a flame in there, and then you put that onto a hot fire. Below that, or you build a hot fire around the tin really, and then under the tin you have your catch pot, and then basically there's no oxygen, so there's no ignition, but the materials inside there basically cook off and it extracts the oil. Yeah, it's got a lot of uses. Yeah, it does. It's again, and the sad thing is to make the best birch oil is you want bark off of a living tree ideally because it's going to be having that much more oil in it. You don't get a huge amount for the amount of labour that goes into it, but it's a technique worth having. Um, it's like extracting pitch from pine. That is if you're trying to do it from deadwood, it is so labour intensive. It's ridiculous. You're actually far better off going and finding pine trees and notching them and allowing it to bleed naturally itself. The, the thing to do is to make sure that you care for the tree afterwards. It's spring's not far off now, is it? We've got another month or so. We'll be into January, February, and I'll be looking at the silver birches for the sap. And I've got a couple of trees that I tap for their sap. And again, that's part responsibility. So if you're tapping the silver birch for the sap for the wine, or to make wine, or to even just use as a drink out in the field, although it can be quite bitter. Um, just remember afterwards that you've got to plug that wound, care for that wound, because you don't want to kill your resources. Good night, Katrina. Yeah, yeah. There's 101 different things out there, methods, and this is one of the things we've got near us here, and I might actually make that the video this week if they're open. We've got a very good rural life museum near us here. And a lot of people are saying to me, "You want to get yourself over there because you're really interested in the old methods, arts, and techniques, and that. Get yourself over there and have a look." So I might have a tinkle over there with Mac and have a look around and the rest of it. Because again, as I'm always saying to you, all these every single technique that you could use in a survival situation or in an apocalyptic end of days scenario, all been done before. Okay, all been done by our ancestors, quite often with less technology than we have today, less knowledge. If you take the axe, an axe from the 1800s, and you then turn around and you gave that to that same man to make that axe to use today, but you gave him all the modern materials, all the modern equipment, would he make a better axe? Well, damn sure he would, because it would be out of better quality materials. So we really have the advantage of having the methods, the equipment, the knowledge, the resources today to make a survival situation easier. Okay. Because they've already given us all the knowledge, they've given us all the foundation. All we've got to do is look it up, find it, and use it, and in some cases adapt it. Yeah, so that's what we do. That's what we do. Anyhow, I think I'm going to join Kaz in a minute because she's gone down. She's not feeling well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it another 10, 15 minutes, finish my cigar, finish drinking me Guinness, and then I'll wind it up this week. Next week we'll be back to our normal time, which will be 2000 hours. Thank you all for joining me and Kaz this evening. We've been looking forward to it for a couple of days now. We've been feeling absolutely pants, especially Kaz. And it's the highlight of our week. So yeah, thank you for being there. Thank you for the support, and thank you for all the kind regards that we've received. We have appreciated it. Things will be back to normal next week. Well, it won't, 'cause it'll be nearly Christmas, but well, I hope all you guys out there. I hope your lives are a little bit better, a little less pandemonium, a little bit less of an issue. I hope you're all ready for the Christmas festivities, no matter what you practice, no matter your faith, or whether you're just going to look at having a good session and sitting in the corner. I will be live on a Sunday night, right the way through Christmas, as we promised. We will be here every Sunday at 2000 hours. If you wish to join us, do so. Don't feel pressured to. Okay, you've got your own families, and if you've got the chance to go out and do something and spend time with people, go and do it. Mate, you're not far wrong there. I spent most of last night wrapped up in a whoopie, or wrapped up in the whoopie. Yeah, I actually ended up sat on the chair here with the whoopie round because poor old Kaz, I was getting too warm, so I came and sat in here. Will do, Mac. Take it steady, mate. Take it easy. Guys, yeah, I'm going to finish my cigar because obviously I don't smoke downstairs. It's only in the man cave. Just the once a week. And I thought I needed this one this week. Yeah. Yeah. Where are we going? Where are we going? So, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. New Year's coming, and yeah, like I say, it's going to be exciting this year. I've got some plans for the channel, got some ideas. People have thrown me some tips and some ideas and said, look, we're doing this, that, and the other. And I'm going to literally break my months down into a format so I know where I'm going, what I'm doing a bit better, planning ahead and pushing on with it. I'm going to probably look at doing almost like 1 week bushcraft, 1 week prepping, 1 week survival, 1 week, an adventure, do something like that. Let's lay plans of mice and men. Good night, BJ. You take care. Love and best to all your family. Oh. Yeah, and I will be brewing up on those sets, John, this week. So will Mac. We'll have a coffee. Every time we have a coffee now at Woods, we're going to be sitting there going, cheers, John. Might even actually change it to a, you having a cup of John? Yeah, let's have a cup of John. Nice. I'm never going to live that down, am I? Forgetting the hexing. Good plan, Lee. Yeah, and that's just it, isn't it? You got a chance to help somebody that is in dire straits this Christmas, do so. As you walk through this world and you see people that are in a worse situation than you are, if you can spare them a thought, don't always justify giving money because I never know where that money's going, but I don't have a problem buying them a cup of tea, cup of coffee, some food. And if I can, helping out here and there. In actual fact, when I gave up smoking, the day I actually physically sat in the Land Rover outside Sainsbury's supermarket and think, I'm going to give up smoking. I'm really going to give up smoking. A homeless guy who sat in front of the shop a bit further up looked up and said, "Excuse me, mate, do you smoke?" And I went, "Yeah." He said, "Can I nick a cigarette paper off you, please?" And I said, "Yeah, of course you can." And he come wandering over. And I looked at him and I looked at the tobacco and I went, "Do you know what, mate? Have that on me." And in actual fact, have a dig round in the glove box. There's a whole handful of cigarette papers. You have those. There's a couple of lighters as well. You have those, mate. I'm giving up. That's it. So, yeah. Which helped me because it meant there wasn't any in the car. Because that whole thing when you're giving up smoking, because 10 minutes later you're going, well, maybe tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very. It's heartbreaking when you see people down on their luck. Yeah, difficult world. Difficult world. Makes you glad for what you got, doesn't it? You know, you think how lucky we really are. I mean, I sit and moan sometimes and whinge about, you know, struggling and things are tight and that. And I only got to look over my shoulder. And all right, yeah, it takes a couple of years to get all your kit together, but yeah, bit of luck. Yeah, it's yeah. That's the thing with this time of year, isn't it? It is spare a thought. Spare a thought. If you can hold your hand out, hold your hand out. Apart from the one I had a couple of years back, who it was a woman, funny enough, and as I came walking out of, I was just up in Farnborough, come out of one of the shopping centres, and she's sitting there, huddled up with everything in front of her. "Please, mister, could you spare us a fiver?" And I looked at her, I said, "I'm sorry, I haven't got a fiver, but I'll quite happily go and get you something to eat if you want." And she went, "You can fuck off with your charity." All right, fair enough. I offered. Yeah, yeah. So no, that ain't your fault, Lee. You, you can do what you can for people, but you can't control what they're going to do with it. You know, it's as simple as that. You did what you did with a good, honest heart. Okay, so it's night sticks. You take care, mate, and yeah, just keep coming. Don't try and overthink it, my friend. That's right at the beginning of mine. I kept doing that. I kept sort of looking at things and thinking it and trying to overthink it and judge myself. Just be yourself, mate. Be yourself. You got brilliant presentation. You got the filming skills and techniques. You got a great rapport. Okay, the way you talk on camera is completely natural. All right. Um, yeah, you can crack it out. You got what it takes. It's the difficulty with this whole YouTube thing. And believe you me, I've doubted myself time and time again. And it's easy for me to say when I'm sitting there with just over 1,000 subscribers, which yeah, it came. I was as gobsmacked as anybody else, but it will come. It will come. Just persevere. Be yourself. That's what people find and they like. People aren't looking for anything other than somebody they can relate to. And if they can relate to you, yeah, brilliant. All the best, mate. Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. Yeah. If I I just wish we could try so hard to find help for our ex-forces servicemen that are on the streets as we do for people that are coming into the country illegally. And I'm not going to get into the whole immigration and illegal thing. That's not a subject I even want to hit. But it does hurt me that we have thousands of ex-military personnel living on the streets because they can't cope with life because of what they've experienced in the military, and there is no real help for them there at all, or care. And yet we can quite happily rent a few more hotels. It's not a problem. Or we can do that for immigrants who have never put a penny into this country. And I'm not being shirty or nasty or making a judgment. Surely we should be also helping those that need help. And it's not just servicemen; they're young people on the streets through no fault of their own. Okay, so yeah, social justice is justice for all, not just for one group. It is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Sorry, Sticks. I'm sorry you Mrs. H your last video. Mind you, suppose it's also the thing I've got with Kaz is if I do something on a video and Kaz doesn't think it's right or she thinks it's not my best effort, she'll tell me straight, and I'd rather she did. Yeah. Yeah. No. Oh, dog dad. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I often wonder if we could get the guys. There's a lot of shut camps around Britain. Closed down camps that are just falling apart. And I often wondered myself, knowing a few guys that have been through the situation, that if you could open a camp, okay, and I mean literally open the barrack blocks as somewhere for these guys to go. I'm not talking about bringing back military discipline, putting them in a uniform or anything like that, but bring back some of that order. Okay, you get them to run and maintain the cookhouse, do the repairs, the maintenance around the camp, look after the camp as part of their, help stay there. You then get them the help, get them the people in there that they need in there. But you're giving them shelter, you're giving them core, you're giving them that sort of order and familiarity, which will give them a sense of safety. I mean, I'm no psychological expert, but when I speak to a lot of guys, one of the things they say to me that they doesn't help is the fact that nobody gets it. But if you put them somewhere with other people that also get it, where they can self-support, dark humour, it's the whole military thing, isn't it? Military sense of humour. If you throw that out there in a civilian world, people go absolutely ballistic. You can be charged for it, for making something that is just an innocuous remark suddenly becomes a form of hatred. But it's just what squaddies do. It's based on their experience. How can you take somebody that may have seen the horrors of war and expect them to just be the same as some 16-year-old straight out of school? They're not going to be, are they? It's like when you talk to miners, fishermen, sailors, people like that. Their life experiences make them a set way. Their humour, their ethos, their methods are based around that. And a lot of these people really, what they really, really need in my book is that brotherhood around them. not people to sort of be looking down on them. Give them that little bit of pride back. Give them that self-esteem back. Right? They'll look after themselves if you give them the ability to look after themselves. Yeah. Yes, if I ever had the chance to do it, that's what I'd push for. You said it wasn't you. Okay, no, mate. Like, Sticks, off to bed with you. Get off to bed. Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? What do we do? What do we do? You can see the answers out there, but you couldn't get the funding for it. You couldn't get somebody to give it to you. Hiya, Jace. How you doing, mate? Yeah. Kaz has had to bail. She's still feeling rotten. I'm feeling a little bit better, brother. How's your hand? How's your injury? Mm. Mm. Good. All healing. Ah, good stuff. Good stuff. Oh. What are we down to? We're down to 7 of you. Jace has just come on from Hampshire Outdoors Kitchen, so I better say hi to him. Have a chat to him for a minute. You can see how the rest of you are doing. Yeah, so we've had a little bit of a political one tonight. Yeah. Dog Dad, bless you, mate. Have a good night. Been enjoying the videos. Your navigation training is absolutely perfect. Brilliant. Absolutely spotty dog. Chuff with that. Perfectamundo. Good job you were working. Oh, politics. Yeah, Jace don't do politics. Yeah, I try and avoid them like the plague, because it just gets you down. Anyhow, right, that's it. 1:42. I'm packing it in. Sorry, it's a short one tonight, guys. We started later because I was supposed to be over an hour away, but all that went to back, what with illness and what have you. Back to normal next Sunday. I'll be out with Mac this week, getting a video cracked out for you. And we will be covering axe safety. So a few tips on there, some methods, some ideas. Take it easy, stay safe. Keep away from anybody comes near you, sniffling, coughing, sneezing, farting, right? Burning stick time. Keep them as far away from you as possible. Do not go down with this bloody thing that I have. It's it knocked me for 6. And I probably shouldn't be having a cigar because it is still a little bit on my chest, but hey, sod it. Dirty faces, good night, my friends. You sleep well. Have an awesome week. Jace, sleep well. Have an awesome week, my brother. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, I expect. Lee Michael, yeah, stay safe, brother. You look after yourself. Dog Dad, take care, mate. You sleep well. Have a great week. Hey, where are we? Sticks, yeah, Sticks has just gone. You stay safe, Sticks. Yeah, and anybody else out there, okay? Have a good week. Stay safe. Like I say, keep away from people with a lurgy. Christmas is coming. You definitely don't want this over Christmas. Love those you do. Forgive those you don't. And as always, peace and light be upon you all. Take care, my friends. Look after yourselves. Have a wonderful week. And I will catch you next weekend. Take care. Mickey out.